Hey, my name is Matt Giordano, theyogimat.com. Thank you so much for watching. There's a cue that a lot of yoga teachers give, and that's to relax your shoulders away from the ears or pull your shoulder blades down the back. And this can be a really important and effective cue, but when the arms are up or overhead, here's something that's surprising. It could cause shoulder impingement syndrome, it could cause tearing of your supraspinatus, and ultimately it just limits your range of motion. There's a term called Scapulohumeral Rhythm. It basically just means that your humerus, your arm bone, as it raises up overhead, the scapula, the shoulder blade, will move with it to allow for that range of motion. If you try to pull your shoulders down your back as you raise your arms up overhead, eventually what would happen is your bones would collide into each other, causing lack of range of motion or compression in the joint. That means you would have less range of motion, not because you're muscularly inflexible, but because your bone structure is colliding into itself and stopping itself. To bypass compression and allow enough range of motion in the bone structure for your arms to get overhead in poses such as downward facing dog or tree pose or even handstand, you would have to allow for certain movements to happen, and that's called upward rotation of the scapula. Upward rotation is when the bottom wingtip of your scapula moves forward like protraction. It moves around your rib cage, and then it starts to rise up like elevation of your scapula. So it's a combination of a couple of things, and what it does is it turns the scapula in a way that allows the joint to be angled differently so that your humerus, your arm bone, can be vertical. Here's what I would suggest. Turn your arms out externally. As you breathe, let the arms rise up. And as the arms are rising up, think about lifting from the outer line of your shoulder, not so much the inner line, because that will actually internally rotate your arm. And from that rotation, you might compress your shoulder more. So you're gonna lift from the outer line, turn the tricep towards your face, your shoulder blade will come around the back, and this will indicate the bottom wingtip to rise up with you. You can use these cues to upwardly rotate your scapula in any pose when you're taking your arms up overhead. So if you're going from Tadasana to Urdhva Hastasana, or you're going into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1, or Handstand and Downward Facing Dog. Now, Handstand and Downward Facing Dog are a little bit more tricky simply because the hands are fixed on the ground, but the actions are still pretty much the same. If you're specifically interested in those two poses, I highly recommend my handstand strength training video at theyogimat.com/handstand. Let's get this into your body. Start in Tadasana with your hands by your side. Step 1, rotate the palms and the upper arms out. So this is external rotation. Step 2, start to reach up with the arms overhead. This is called abduction. When the arms are above shoulder height, start to think about this action. Reach up from the outer line of your arm like you're climbing a ladder, so you feel like you're lifting from the outer shoulder blade up into your fingers. In short, the next time you go to practice and you take your arms up overhead, just allow your shoulders to rise up with them so that you can feel the freedom and feel the range of motion that is created from it. If you enjoy techniques like this and you want to become more effective in your practice or in your teaching, you'll be interested in my Mentorship Mastery Program. The Mentorship Program is one-on-one guidance between myself and you, and together we develop your skills and your knowledge so that you become more empowered as a practitioner, but also as a teacher, and you can share it with others. Thanks again for watching. If you really enjoyed this information, remember to share it. And if you have questions for me regarding the video or the mentorship, just send me an email, matt@theyogimat.com. I'll see you next time.